Hey everybody, Sam Haymart, and you are watching Kitchen Table, episode number 2 on Growing Older Gay. This is where we check in and talk about the things that I saw, I felt, I heard this week, and things that I'd like to share with you. And the first thing on the list is a little story about a social media post I saw this week. A very good friend of mine whose father is very ill was sitting with him in the hospital, and his father, clearly very aged and clearly struggling right now to make it to the next day. And he was just sharing about his moment that he had with his father in that time. And it really touched me. And I mean, it made me cry, man. I was at work when this happened, when I saw this on a break, and I just lost it. I had to really sort of step outside, get some air, so to speak, and let myself have a good cry over it. And I kept thinking, I am touched because this is my friend and I have been what he's going through and I know how it feels. And so I was really sort of feeling what he was feeling, or at least what I felt in that time. And after having a good cry, obviously, I was able to go on with the rest of my day and do my thing unabated. But it reminded me about the fact that having a good cry, letting yourself have that cry, is a very therapeutic thing. It's healthy. We were designed to cry, whether we know it or not. And I bring this up because a lot of us, we were brought up and raised when we were kids. We were trained and programmed. Stop crying. Stop that. Don't do that. That's not manly. That's not, get it together. There was all of these messages that were given to us growing up about why we need to stop crying and keep that inside. Not right now, not here, never, that's a character defect in some cases, we were told. And so we were programmed to sort of learn to stifle that and let that stay inside of us. And that's not healthy. I'm here to tell you that as someone who cries very easily and has trained myself, allowed myself that when I feel a strong emotion that starts to bring a tear, I usually don't fight it. Even if I'm somewhere where it's, possibly going to have to make me explain it. And it's just a healthy thing. And the reason I bring it up is because we put that on a meme on our social media channels this week. And it allows me to sort of share with you our social media: Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. All 4 of these channels, you can see Growing Older Gay there. And we have a meme that we post almost every day that is a uplifting, therapeutic kind of do-gooder type of meme, something it's designed to bring you up and inspire you. And so I invite you to go check out our social media, and that's there. Have a good cry too. Next on the list, I have a little checklist here. Gilead, who is the maker of many of our fine drugs that those of us in the queer communities use to either prevent or treat things like HIV, have been giving away a lot of their medication for free through their Advancing Access program for a very long time. I myself am on Truvada, which is a drug used for HIV prevention. And when I first got on it, I was broke and I had nothing. I was able to get that drug for free from Gilead through their Advancing Access program. Well, at the end of this month, they are discontinuing 4 drugs from that program, Truvada being one of them, Emtreva, Tybost, and Complera. Now, if you're on any of these drugs and you're getting those through the Advancing Access program, chances are they've already notified you of this. But if you aren't aware, at the end of this month, that free faucet will be turning off for those drugs. And the main reason is because those drugs, for the most part, have very inexpensive generics that are available out there right now, which is a great thing. Truvada, you can get a generic version of for about $30 a month out of pocket at your local drugstore. So that's a good thing. Gilead just essentially felt that because these drugs are available on the open market for near free now, that they don't have to give it away anymore. They are still including a lot of their other drugs that don't have generics yet on their list. So they're not ending the program altogether. They're just taking those 4 drugs off of it. But good to know if you're in the space where that matters to you. Yeah. The next thing on my talk about list today is the Supreme Court. And that's because this week before them is a case about pornography and access to it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, go look at pornography. I'm not promoting pornography. The reason I bring it up is because this is a case that is first and foremost about First Amendment rights. And it is a case that falls into the sphere of things that the powers that be out there that really seek to chip away the rights of the LGBT people those people are putting a lot of cases through the system that challenge little bits and pieces. One of those is access to adult films, adult sites, adult material. 19 states have made laws limiting or curtailing the ability for people to get to that. Now, the goal is noble. The reason that they're stating is a noble reason. They want to keep kids from getting access to these sites. I agree with that. I agree that kids shouldn't access things until they're a little older and able to make decisions and understand that this is entertainment. It's not real life. Well, for some people it is, but the point of the matter is they want to put something in place that keeps kids from being able to access. The problem is a lot of the systems out there put the adults at risk who actually want to go through that identification process to look at these sites. Their information becomes at risk if there's a hacking. That's just one example. And a few years ago, there was a really big site out there that got hacked and lots of people got doxxed, right? So that's the main concern for a lot of people. But the other concern is just simply the fact that a lot of these sites have pulled out of those 19 states altogether just because too much trouble, don't want to deal with it. So de facto, they've made it illegal in that state. You can't get to it if the company just says, forget it, I'm just going to turn it off. So these are cases that are a variety of cases that are moving, and the Supreme Court is going to signal the direction for a lot of those laws out there with their decision that's on this case going through this week. So just wanted to make you aware of it. If you're a creator, if you happen to have a Just for Fans or something like that, be aware of the fact that your livelihood's in danger because of these things. And so keep an eye on that. It's freedom of speech and how we make it work for everybody. So there's that. Then there's the next thing. It's the big one. Next Monday, the 20th, is Inauguration Day. The new administration will be taking place. And what most feel like the big shit show will finally officially start. It's already started, but it will start in earnest. The previews will be over with. The main attraction will be going on and the house lights will be down. So be aware of that. You already know it's coming. But the reason I bring it up is because those of us in the LGBT community are very concerned about all of the things that are already happening and that are going to be happening that affect our freedom, our livelihoods, and our well-being, and just our ability to go through the world and not have to be careful about things. And so the reason I bring it up is because here at this channel, we have a 10-part series of videos that are on the rollout, which deal with surviving anti-LGBT politics. And the first installment was last week, which is preparing yourself legally, marriage, adoption, things like that. And this week, it is situational awareness. We're talking about ways that you can make yourself aware of all of these things that are happening on a daily basis, but the things that are important, things like that case in the Supreme Court last week, the laws, the tentacles and all of the myriad of laws that are going to be coming at us that are chipping away little bit by little bit around our rights and our freedoms. And another one was the anti-trans law that Congress just passed earlier this week, and is headed to the Senate as I record this, and probably going to be on the president's desk right when he starts his new job. And there's going to be a lot of it. So this video really sort of goes down the list of areas where you can get information, which information to sort of balance against others, how to keep yourself informed, and be ready to make the right decisions and do the right things where necessary. And that is right there. You can see that latest episode right there that I just talked about. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel right there. Down below are links to all of our social media. You can keep abreast of everything else there. Either way, stay tuned.